Rivington. Okay, let's get started. As I mentioned, my name is Daniel. I'm here to assist you. So this is an overview that I will provide, but I am here to answer questions that you may have as well. I thought what I would do first is just give you an understanding of the actual program and what makes it unique first and foremost. Firstly, we work in true collaboration with Cambridge, where we are the conduit between academia and industry. So we have been running the Career Accelerator model with both Cambridge and other universities for near on 5 years now with great success. We've had thousands of learners go through, obtain their intended career outcome through the practical application of learning that this provides and the coaching that dovetails as that I'll mention in a moment. But when we design any career accelerator, we first get an understanding from industry what it is that they need. And in this particular case, industry were frustrated with employing graduates with technical skills, but no business application of the technical. All of our courses are designed in that true collaboration. So Cambridge then meets with industry, um, ensuring that the Cambridge academic rigour is the bedrock of the program, yet the practical learning outcomes enable you to demonstrate to employers that you have the skills that they're looking for. It's most important. So it is a highly practical program with no exams as a result of that. It is a 7-month program completely online, and you'll gain hands-on skills, build a professional portfolio instead of through the submission of projects and assignments instead of exams, and collaborate with leading organisations on real-world projects. This session obviously is going to highlight the support structure that makes balancing learning and life achievable, and the data science with machine learning and AI career accelerator ensures that graduates like yourselves are prepared for real world data science roles. And a couple of things that do make it even more unique, as I mentioned, there's no exams because employers have repeatedly said they would much rather see a practical portfolio of learning than an examination result. It's made up of four courses and one live industry facing project. So you'll see here, course one, applying statistics and core data science techniques in business. Even the course title reflects what it is that you'll be doing. You'll be applying the technical skills in business, real world business scenarios. That's made up of 5 portfolio activities and 2 projects that you submit that also then become part of your digital portfolio. Course 2, solving business problems with supervised learning. There's 11 portfolio activities that you go through in one project that runs for a 6-week, as does course 1 with the reflection week in between. Course 3 is more intensive. It's 6 portfolio and 2 major projects applying advanced data science techniques. That runs for an 8-week period with a week's break in between. And then you've got your final module and employer facing project. So the learning outcomes from course 1, course 2, and course 3 enable your participation in a live industry facing project. We've worked with the likes of Bank of England previously. We've worked with Inchcape, one of the world's largest automotive organisations, and we've recently partnered with the National Institute for Health and Care Excellence that will be hosting a project as well. How that is structured is that yourself, along with 5 or 6 other high caliber learners, will meet with one of our employer partners. They'll present to you a real data related or AI related challenge in which they're currently experiencing. As a team, through the application of those first 3 courses, application of learning from those first 3 courses, you'll come up with innovative and tangible solutions to that scenario, presenting your recommendations back to the employer in a consultancy style presentation at the end. It's of great benefit in numerous ways. Firstly, through that practical application of learning, and it's a great demonstration thereafter that I'll touch on. It's also brilliant to network more deeply with your peers from all over the world, potentially, but also leaders of industry for potential employment outcomes, for references, for all sorts of things. And lastly, it is a much more powerful demonstration of your value to a prospective employer to say, this is the project that we had, or this is the challenge that the employer partner gave us. This is the approach we took. These are the innovative outcomes that we suggested, and this is the impact of those that would have on business. That's a much more powerful demonstration than an exam result could ever be, as I'm sure you can imagine. Um, Applying for the program does require a number of prerequisites. You'll need to have studied an undergraduate degree previously or have the requisite amount of professional experience that I'll touch on in a undergraduate degree that contains at least one quantitative unit of study. Um, in addition to that, you do require 1 year of experience in a role involving data. It doesn't need to be an analyst. It doesn't need to be a scientist. It could be marketing with, understanding marketing analytics. It could be sales forecasting. It could be engineering or any data. Most roles are exposed to data now, so you need at least 1 year of professional experience. And then there's the Python prerequisites. So instead of teaching you Python from day one, we want to be teaching you data science. So there is the need to have basic Python experience under your belt before you commence. It is not that you need to be a Python expert at all. It is that you are able to um, load, clean, explore data. If you're a bit rusty, we've got a short preparatory process that we'll go through, and that's obviously the basis of today's discussion that I'll walk you through as well. But if you've coded before, you'll pick it up easy. If you don't have any Python experience or coding experience, we can still help, and many learners have been very successful in the program having not coded before. But Python is the language that employers seek. Python is the language for our machine learning, obviously, in the program as well. Just quickly before I do move on to dive into Python prerequisites and the way in which we can support you with that, you are also supported in this program to help you achieve your intended outcome with an executive career coach. It's a whole program within the program designed for you to take your career or achieve your intended outcomes sooner, go further faster. Hence the term career accelerator, I guess. Just to help me out here with the audience as well, in addition to those of you that have put your location, can I ask if you can put in the chat function whether you're seeking to change careers, so just put change careers into data science, or whether you're seeking to commence your career, or whether you're seeking to advance your existing career. So you put commence, change, or advance. If you can pop that in the chat, it'll give me a great understanding of the audience, and I can certainly then tailor some of the content towards. A lot of advances, changes, undecided, career changes. Good on you for considering a career change, everyone, and for those looking to implement either new skills to advance your careers as well. So we'll touch on a lot of that. The application process is really, really easy though. It involves you uploading your resume or your LinkedIn profile. That's more than suffice. A picture of your previous studies. If you've got a bachelor degree in commerce or something, we know it contains quantitative units. We don't need all of the transcripts. Or if you've got a master's or whatever it is, something there, and an identity document for verification purposes. It takes 5 minutes, and we'll walk you through. I'm happy to walk you through that as well at the end if needs be. But you're back on the career coaching, helping you change careers or advance your existing career. When we launched the Career Accelerator program, we had the career coaching as a value add proposition, aligning people's intended outcomes through the study that you were doing. So you'd get six career coaching sessions as you were studying. What we quickly found out though, and realized, was that the majority of people seeking their career outcomes did so after the course completed. So we've actually extended the career coaching to 12 months so that you obtain an opportunity to develop a relationship of trust with an expert career coach. You'll go through a process of identifying and articulating goals that you'll set in terms of your intended career outcome, and they're going to help you through one-on-one monthly catch-ups achieve that much sooner. And that could be through your personal branding. It could be through highlighting your no doubt numerous transferable skills that everyone obtains in a way that attracts employers and recruitment agencies and the like as well. And we'll continue that coaching beyond 12 months if you haven't achieved your intended outcome within 12 months, although 87% of our learners do. achieve their nominated career outcome within 6 months of completing the Career Accelerator. Once your application is submitted, we'll give you an outcome within 24 hours. Upon receiving a letter of offer, you can choose from multiple payment options, including upfront with a fee discount, a fee reduction. We've got 6 months interest-free plans, 9 months interest-free plans, or a financing option of 24 months. For those of you that aren't aware, the whole program, the 7 months intensive program with Cambridge, with that 12 months or longer of one-on-one career coaching, is £8,395, inclusive of that. And there is a £500 fee reduction if you pay up front. Or, as I said, there's 6 or 9 monthly payment plans without any interest or fees, or there's a 24-month payment plan available via our trusted finance provider in StepX, where there's a £20 application fee and no interest the whole way through. So it is about Cambridge's desire to make that accessible to more, but there's a hell of a lot of value packed into the program and obviously the coaching as well. All throughout this session, if you have any questions at any time, please pop them in the chat or raise your hand or whatever you prefer to do. I'm here to answer them. We'll move now on to, so I've given an overview of the program. I'll answer many, many more questions if you have them programmed specifically, but I do want to touch on now the Python prerequisites and how we'll support you with them as well. So, one of the prerequisites is that you have a very basic understanding and working knowledge of Python, that you understand the libraries of NumPy and Pandas basically, or at a basic level, and that you've got an understanding of how to visualize data with that. So it is not that you need to be an expert at all. And in fact, I'll ask another question as well. Would you currently put your Python skills at none, beginner, intermediate, or advanced? Pop that in the chat. And again, I'll beginner, none, beginner, intermediate. That's excellent. None, not a problem. Beginner, none, intermediate, intermediate. Not a problem. And that's a really accurate reflection of our our learner cohorts that have been, over the past few years. Many haven't had any Python experience. It's not something to be daunted by. It's something that we can get done in between now and the course commencing to give you enough confidence to attack or start the program with confidence and to be learning data science from day one as well. So I'm delighted, firstly, that you're here, that you're educating yourself about the opportunities available to you and how we can support your commencement in what is a most innovative program. So we do have a self-assessment tool. Once you've gone through a process of submitting your application, receiving your letter of offer, we will give you free Python resources. It's about a 20-hour 3-module program that you go through, getting the basics of Python under your belt. Then you take a self-assessment tool that is quite straightforward, and this enables your successful commencement of the program. I'll talk you through that. So it's 13 questions, 10 of which are multiple choice. And to be honest, I have zero experience in Python myself. It's not something that I'm au fait with at all, but I got all of the multiple choice questions right because I knew where to source the information. It is an open source self-assessment. 3 basic coding examples make up, along with the 10 multiple choice, 3 basic coding examples make up the self-assessment. It is a requirement to achieve 80%, more than 90% of our participants pass that successfully. It's not timed. It takes learners about 30 minutes, 40 minutes, but it's not timed, but you must complete it in a single session, no logging out and logging back in. And once you've completed that prerequisite Python assessments, sorry, once you complete that 20-hour Python asset that we can provide you, you'll be more than confident and competent enough to pass that quite easily. In addition to that, we have a Python support mechanism. So once you've received your offer, once you've secured your placement with a 10% deposit, you get the Python resources, you go through that 20 hours. There will also be a dedicated person to support you during that process. Natasha's brilliant at that. She'll give you any guidance that you need and assist you get through that. And then you take the self-assessment ahead of the course commencement and ensure that then you can obviously commence and achieve your intended outcome in the time frame that you're seeking this year. Just a reminder for everyone, the course starts on the 2nd of February. There is a 2-week onboarding period, so you've still got time during that time in which to pass that assessment. And then course one starts 2 weeks after as well. I'm going to show you a little bit of what the test, the self assessment tool looks like. So Python is obviously one of the most widely used programming languages in data science due to its readability, simplicity, and powerful libraries. It's beginner friendly and commonly used for tasks such as analysis, machine learning, statistical computing, and automating repetitive tasks, as well as visualization. The program doesn't assume you have prior programming experience. Instead, we ensure that you develop Python skills through structured learning and practical exercises. So, as you'll see on the slide, there's an example of one of the multiple choice questions. And on the right side, there's a sample coding assessment or some of the prompts that you'll be given to do the sample coding assessment as well. It is not as in-depth as intermediate Python. It is between that beginner level, but once you've secured your placement and obtained that 20 hours of pre-learning, you'll be more than fine. Questions. Let's see if there's any questions. Who's got any questions regarding the Python requirements or the actual program? So just a reminder, the process is that if you haven't spoken with your enrolment advisor, we encourage you to do so, and there'll be a link in which to book a time with your enrolment advisor to discuss your own circumstances, your own barriers that you may need assistance in overcoming, and your budgets and things like that. From there, you submit an application and you receive an offer. Suffice that you meet all the entry criteria apart from Python. You'll receive an offer within 24, 48 hours at the most, and you secure your placement with a 10% deposit. You'll then receive that one-on-one Python support, but also that pre-learning, that 20-hour pre-learning program from us. And you undertake that, you complete the self-assessment, and you're ready to commence. Dario's got a question. What would an example of a task in the assessment to be resolved with Python coding skills? Let me see if I can log on. Let me just see if I can log on and demonstrate this more so than I normally would. Oh, sorry, that's the assessment. I want to show you the back end if I can. Hang on one second, sorry. I'm just creating an account for myself. As I share my screen, Sam, am I able to share my screen actually, or can you enable me to do so?
You should be able to, DC.
Thank you kindly. Right, here we go. So for everyone, uh, this is what it looks like. So you log in, you create an account, you've got challenges, you've got what I've already demonstrated there, and an example of a challenge is this. You'll see down the left-hand side, you're given a number of array. The function should return a single value and will be the sum of the four largest numbers in the array. So it might sound daunting to some, but you've got a whole heap of resources in here in which to do so as well. And once you can run the test code and things like that, you've got unlimited amount of time being left. But it should be find the sum of the four largest numbers in the array. I hope that helps in relation to that first example. I'm not going to show examples two and three, but there is resources in here as well. It's very basic coding in that regard, and one that once you've done that 20 hours, you'll breeze through as well as all, more than 90% of attemptees do so as well. Mohit's got a question. Thanks, Dario, for that question. From a SAP background in data and analytics, it is a major change going in. Is it a major change going into data science and using Python? Mohit, yes and no. No, in the sense that you've got the technical understanding. Yes, as in it's a new language in which to learn. It's not dissimilar when you think about other languages as well. But I think Python is probably the most user friendly that you would use. So you would be able to pick that up really, really quickly, and then broaden also your intended outcomes or employer appeal as well. Um, but a great question, Mohit. I think we've got many that have had an SAP or SAP background previously and are relishing the opportunity of learning new skills, but also those relevant to the AI, machine learning, obviously, and being the architects of what is the future of AI as well. Um, any other questions? Feel free to raise a hand or put it in the chat as Mohit and Dario have done. Um, I just thought I'd let you know also we cap our enrolment numbers and we will sell out for the upcoming intake. The reason in which we cap our enrolment numbers is for you. And what I mean by that is it's due to the learning experience and also our coaching and academic capacity. Um, so if we were to open this up for many hundreds of learners globally, which I'm sure we could, it would dictate that there'd need to be 15 or 20 learners, for example, on an industry project team. And that would lessen the roles and responsibilities you actually have in that real employer facing project. And that wouldn't necessarily give you the return on investment we're seeking. So we do cap our learning numbers. I just wanted to also touch on the commitment and how many hours and things like that you need to complete to do the program. Mohit's got a question regarding last project. Is this need to be done with Bank of England? We've done many projects with the Bank of England. Um, we work with many different employers. Some do projects for one presentation and have a little time off until they experience a new challenge, for example. So we've done many with the Bank of England. We've done many with Inchcape, and our new partner is obviously the national. What did I say before? The national. Let me just find it. I've got their thing out there. National Institute for Health and Care Excellence. We've got a lot of those looking to add Meditech AI skills. So we've gone out and produced a partner within that sector as well. So it could be that you're with a commercial partner. It could be you're in the health sector. It could be a non-profit. Um, it won't necessarily be with one particular one, but you'll put forward your request to be involved in a particular project. I think that answers your question. Does this need to be done with Bank of England? No, you'll be assigned the projects with whoever is doing it within that cohort. And I mean, if it is within a field that you're interested in, great. If it's in a field that you haven't experienced before, it's actually a really positive thing to bring that experience to a different industry or the one that you're looking to work in. Um, so all of the projects we have are amazing. They offer you that opportunity of applying the learning in a practical sense in a real world scenario, be that in a finance sector, be that health, be that commercial, be that non-government potentially as well. I just wanted to touch on the commitments. So to undertake a career accelerator, it does require your commitment and sacrifice. But if you, as many of you are looking to change careers with a little Python experience to become a natural data scientist in 7 months, as you can imagine, there's a lot that goes into learning and a lot of opportunity with that, but also a lot of sacrifice along the way. So I thought I'd bundle together what a week looks like with a typical learner. Now, this isn't the same for everyone. Some people have employer support of time. They might be given a Friday off to study because it's relevant to their role. It might be that people don't do anything during the week and dedicate big days on the, 2 full days on the weekend. But just to give you an example of what a typical week will look like, I'll walk you through it. So it is around that 20 hours per week. Some weeks you might do more, some weeks you might do less, but a accurate budget of hours is 20. But it is designed to fit in with you more so than you fit in with university. And what I mean by that is there's a blend of synchronous and asynchronous learning. Synchronous sessions each week are with the Cambridge academics. So you'll attend a live session of a lunchtime or an evening with Dr. Alexia or one of the world-renowned academics that oversee the program. They'll give you an overview of the module of that week. You'll ask questions and be engaged, and there'll be a follow-up Q&A live in that week. There's also fortnightly industry mentor sessions. So there's an amazing array of industry mentors that we have to ensure that constant application of learning in the real world and how your technical skills apply in the real world is at the forefront of all of your learning. So you'll have those live sessions either fortnightly or definitely weekly. If you can't attend because it's your birthday and you're going out for dinner, naturally they are recorded so you can catch them up at a time that suits you. But they're highly beneficial, obviously. Then the majority of learning is then asynchronous, meaning you choose when and how the study fits in with your life. As I said, people choose to spread it out each day. Some people just do the weekends according to their busy schedules. It's up to you. But what a week would look like is Monday, you finish work. If you're on the tube or something, you might be able to log on and have a look, but you'll have some dinner when you get home, and you'll knock off a few hours to set up your week on the right foot, for example, on a Monday. Tuesday lunchtime, there's a live session with the Cambridge academic. You'll attend that, you'll take some notes, you'll engage in the platform to see what questions other learners are asking or seeing examples of other learners applying the learning to their workplace, successes and failures that come with that, and that shared learning that we've really built into the community of learners that you're a part of, that is often missing in online learning. So that's Tuesday. You go home, and after that lunchtime session, you go home of an evening. You might do an hour or two. Wednesday, it snowed in London, as I understand it has been, and in other parts of Europe. And it was a really tough day. And the last thing that you feel like doing is study when you get home. Your partner has said, "Let's start that Netflix series," and you say, "Hold on." For the benefit of the family, I'm undertaking this program. I don't feel like studying, but I'm just going to log on for 10 minutes and see if there's anything I can knock off. You log on for 10 minutes and you find that you're still exhausted and you're not in the mood for study. You shut your laptop and I won't say start a Netflix series. You've got to probably sacrifice them during your program, but you watch something with your partner or whatever you want to do. But at least you've showed up. The discipline of online learning is such that the discipline is in the consistency. So you've showed up, you haven't done anything, and that's fine. Or you've showed up and you've dived into something, you've actually been inspired by something that one of your peers has posted on the channel, and you get an hour or two out of the way. Thursday, normal day, you'll attend another webinar of an evening or another live session with a Q&A academic. You'll have a Q&A session with the academic or the industry mentor session, and you'll continue studying for a few hours. Friday night off, you're out for drinks with the boys or the girls, and then you'll knock over a chunk on a Saturday or a Sunday. That's typically what a well-planned and structured week looks like, but it is up to you as an individual. What I do recommend that you do is speak to those around you about the commitment you're making to yourself by undertaking this amazing program with Cambridge for the betterment of your career and the potential for the family income or whatever your motivation is. Engage them with it. See the pride that they take in you being accepted or receiving an offer to study at Cambridge, but also set some boundaries around the sacrifice you're going to have to make and say, you know, if it's nights out with the girls, you're going to have to let your friends know that I won't be as available as I usually am. For the next 7 months, I'm studying. I look forward to being more available thereafter. If it's work, I can't go out for the usual things that we do, or speak to your boss about their support of you, be it financially or be it time to study. I hope that helps give you a glimpse into what the 7 months look like, taking you from little to no experience to being applying for amazing data related roles or taking your current level and experience, as some of you were mentioning, to the next level as well. Matt's got a question. You're in sustainability in a data and carbon consultant. I want to streamline data capture. I work with Chanel and AstraZeneca. Can I create a bespoke program focused on them? Great question, Matt. Um, all of the learning outcomes are based on real world examples. So we've had all sorts of organisations contribute to them with Cambridge designing the content. So as you click through a module, there'll be a real example and even videos of that. The chief data scientist from the Bank of England speaking about that particular business case scenario that they faced or whatnot. So it's been designed to meet both the academic and learner requirements and needs. The however, in answer to your question, Matt, it's a no in that regard. However, the learning outcomes are immediately transportable into your business. So whilst we can't have, Matt working on some projects that we don't have an oversight on, and the rest of the people working on the others, it kind of doesn't work or can't work that way. But your learning outcomes in the business case scenarios, you'll think, oh yeah, I can see what's going on there. We've got exactly the same challenge here. I'm going to apply the learning outcome even though you've done it on a different business scenario, you can take that learning outcome because it's practical, it's not an examination, and drop it into your workplace. I think you'd be very well suited as well, by the way, Matt. Paul's got a question. For someone looking to build a specific applied AI product like an AI powered app or workflow rather than general model, which parts of this course would have long-term value? And will it provide the resources needed to independently build and deploy something like that? It's kind of a cross between uh, AI data science and product management you're looking at there, Paul. So yes, you have the skills in which to have that back end, the interface and all that sort of thing. You might need obviously those product management skills or outsource or whatever it is, the skill gaps. But the AI power and the back end of it, this is exactly what it's about. You're forging the future of data science and AI through developing these skills that are brand new in many cases. So the other thing to consider that we speak to learners about often is the case that if you're looking at a degree or a master's or another program, often the thing that you need to ask is how, not how relevant isn't the right word. When was the content developed? Because if it was 18 months or 2 years ago, it's out of date already. This content is continuously monitored by both industry and Cambridge and adapted according to changing needs. So it's a really important thing that you consider as well. How successful are your students in becoming the data scientists upon graduation? Really successful. 87% obtain their intended outcome within 6 months. Now, not everyone's outcome is to become a data scientist. Some people are looking to advance their existing careers or apply learning to their existing roles. Now, 87% of those learners are those that have completed not only the program, but the coaching aspect of the program as well. I want to give you an example of maybe someone that wasn't seeking so much a career outcome as they were a learning outcome to advance their existing career. Ted undertook a career accelerator with us. He worked in transport logistics for the Red Cross, and through the program, learnt how to develop a model that analysed historical conflicts in Africa. What he quickly realised the benefit for the Red Cross was to overlay that on emerging conflicts. Took that to the Red Cross, and they were blown away because it had the potential of saving lives. What I mean by that is they could predict potentially where they may need supplies ahead of time, thus having them there when needed. But also, as a side benefit of that, the Red Cross realised the benefit also of lessening the risk they have in putting their teams in harm's way through getting medical supplies to the required places during conflict that we all know about. That's a very powerful application of practical learning in a real sense and taking the examples and overlaying them or implementing them within his workplace. But with your career coach, Gulnar's asked this question with your career coach, um, you're going to be given every opportunity of obtaining your intended outcome sooner than you would in any other program. I'm most confident in that, and we've got thousands of learners that have done that. The reason being is that relationship that you develop with that career coach. And it's not just the one-on-one meetings with your career coach and the guidance sessions and the personal branding process they go through. If you get stuck, let's say that you've applied for 50 roles and you haven't had an outcome that you were expecting. You've applied for 10 roles, whatever it is. What you'll be invited to do is attend a different session with a group of learners called a career sprint, for example. So we're very innovative as to how the different styles in which the career coaches can help you. Core is those one-on-one career mentoring sessions, career coaching sessions. But in the career sprints, for example, you might be experiencing a challenge in a certain aspect of job seeking, and it could be that you're not doing so well in your networking. Someone else might be struggling to present their LinkedIn profile to attract web scraping and recruitment at companies' attention and things like that. With a half dozen or so learners and the career coach, you'll do a career sprint where you'll share your learning outcomes and challenges relating to your job seeking, and you'll take away concrete outcomes to bring back to the next meeting. And it could be, I'm going to reach out using that template that Gunnar showed me. I'm going to reach out to 10 people this week on LinkedIn and I'm going to bring back the results. Someone else might say, I'm going to look at replicate your successful LinkedIn profile, all those types of things in that shared learning environment that you don't often get in online learning. So there's all sorts of different ways in which the career coaches will help you alongside the networking that occurs both at Mattingley Hall and throughout the program with masterclasses and the like. You'll have every skill under your belt, every relevant skill that employers are seeking, and a plan on how to execute your intended outcome. Uh, the 13% that don't obtain it, I guess it's all individual. And we've got a whole Slack channel celebrating career outcomes called our North Star because it is our North Star metric. There are challenges that people encounter. There's all sorts of different things that get in people's way. There's circumstances that dictate that they can't make a career change. Um, it's a completely individual circumstance in that regard, Gulnaz. But I think to take the learning, the practical learning and the application of that in the real world, the relevance of the content, um, and the career coaching alongside that, you're really well positioned to obtain your intended outcome. Are there opportunities to meet in person, Sylvia? Great question. Yes, in a number of ways. Firstly, the more you put into a program such as this, the more you get out. It goes without saying, and there's a number of ways to look at that. But if you, for example, had the time and you were able to look at, there might be two business case scenarios that you might be applying the learning to that module or using to develop through that module of the week. You might have time to do two instead of choosing the one that's most relevant for your intended outcome. So that's one way of the more you put in, the more you get out. If you haven't got the time to do both, obviously, it's not a problem. But the more you put in, the more you get out in terms of your engagement with your peers. It is an amazing array of people from different parts of the world, different levels of experience, different intended outcomes. But the more you engage with them online, through the discussion forums, there's a platform called Circle where you get to engage with each other, share those learnings, as I've mentioned. The more you're going to get out of it, and hopefully the more you contribute to others' outcomes as well. The more you get put in, the more you'll get out is also in two other ways. Firstly, learners we find organically arrange meetups, be it at Cambridge or be it in London or wherever it may be. And you're more than welcome to do that. I think that's a really positive thing. If you find that there's a cluster in Amsterdam of learners, that would be the great thing to do is catch up once a month, share learning, things like that. So you're welcome to do that. There are two events though, formal events at Mattingley Hall, and you'll be invited to these forevermore too. So one is networking. So as a learner, you'll be invited to Mattingley Hall. It's non-compulsory, but it's highly beneficial. And a lot of learners fly in from Europe or other parts of the world to attend these. There'll be industry speakers, there'll be academics from Cambridge speaking, but most importantly, you'll be engaging with each other and with learners that have already finished the program as well. That you'll be one day then meeting people that are commencing the program in those networking sessions. And then there's a celebration, a graduation celebration event at Mattingley Hall as well. If you go on our LinkedIn page, you'll see examples that learners have posted of been life-changing experiences that they've had meeting other people, going through the program and enjoying their time at Mattingley Hall as well. Uh, Sylvia's asked, will we have access to University of Cambridge libraries and buildings? No, Mattingley Hall is Cambridge Pace. That's the branch of the university that we work with. It's not a public building. There are events and there's administration and the like there. It is an amazing place, but it's not as if you can walk in and use the library. Everything's made available to you online, and it kind of wouldn't be fair for people in other parts of the world. I hope that makes sense in that regard, Sylvia. But everything is available to you in an online sense as well. All the resources that you need to undertake the learning and be successful. Other questions before I do a wrap of next steps and the like as well. Okay, M, if our intended outcome is industry specific, e.g., healthcare or sustainability, does the variability of projects conducted during the course give us a good chance to attain jobs in our preferred industry over other candidates whose portfolios are more targeted to the industry? Great example and great question, D. There is a healthy and diverse nature of business case scenarios within the program and the projects at the end as well. So, as I said earlier, it's I don't think a bad thing to actually take experience from other sectors as well. That let's say let's talk through a hypothetical. M, you're interested in healthcare, but a commercial partner of ours may be looking at a very similar data related challenge in a purely commercial sense, taking that commercial lens and applying it to a healthcare or NGO perspective or even government perspective. Many of our learners have obtained roles within the NHS, for example, can be an attraction from an employer perspective. So there's two ways to look at that. Yes, there will be enough of your portfolio to be demonstrated to employers that are industry specific, but there'll be also things that other people don't have, and that is other industry perspectives that would add weight to your target industry. And the coaches will help you prepare all that too, in your not only your portfolio and how to present that, but in interviews and how to demonstrate the value of learning something from a different industry and how it is applicable to that industry as well. Cindy, great question. So I hope that answers your question, Em. I think there's a great opportunity for both there. Um, can this program provide credits that can be used in a full data science master's degree at Cambridge? I'm assuming you mean Cindy. This is designed at level 7 academic level. It's not a qualification though, it's a certification from Cambridge. So you need an undergraduate degree to get in. So the learning is at that postgraduate level, but it's not a qualification, it's a certification from Cambridge PACE. So it won't be credit bearing if you're applying for a master's or something in the future. But Cindy, this is more what employers are seeking more so than that master's, given that what I mentioned earlier, if you were here, some of that content within different programs around the world is very mature and it's changing so quickly. Employers are really, really seeking what is up to date as well, although it can be an attraction for some that you do have a master's naturally as well. I'd love to know if you're looking to advance your existing career, Cindy, or change careers, if you can type that in as well. We're going to pop a few resources in to the chat as well. Advance in here, that makes great sense. There's an amazing opportunity for learners that commit before the end of next week to join us in what is a private masterclass with one of the world's leading firms. Ernst & Young reached out to us some time ago regarding this program specifically and have now opened it up for all of our career accelerators. But this program specifically attracted the likes of Ernst & Young wanting to recruit talent coming out of a program that was so relevant for what they recruit. So they reached out to us and said, what can we do? We said, let's add some value to our learner experience. And what can we do in terms of masterclasses? The Four Futures of AI is a strategic framework typically shared with C-suite leaders, but you will have access to it. It takes place on the 21st of January. If you've applied, you've received your offer, and you've secured your placement with a 10% deposit or upfront payment, you'll be a guest of Ernst Young. The hosts from Ernst Young are global leaders in AI thinking. They'll go through different types of things in terms of the future of AI recruitment strategies, so you know what they're looking for with data science and AI type roles. It is an amazing opportunity for you to evolve your network and get an inspirational update on the future of AI from one of the four largest firms in the world before you even commence as well. Then also, we're just going to pop the application. Oh, you've got the application link there as well. It only takes 10 minutes to apply, and then you've got your enrollment advisor. Our team are so caring. They'll help you with anything that you need. If you applied, haven't yet spoken with them, they'll reach out. If you've spoken with them already and they've invited you to apply today, they'll reach out and touch base regarding the process, the progress of your application as well, and get you in. I was just going to see if there was another question here. Um, and just as an example of that, I just wanted to give, and I'm sorry to do this, but I spoke with one of my team yesterday, and they said, "I've got someone joining. Make sure you give them a shout out." So, Sally, thank you. I know you had a wonderful conversation with Haley, and she she wanted to make sure that I note that she mentioned that and you'd be attending today. But welcome and thank you for everyone for attending. If you haven't yet spoken with your enrolment advisor, please do book a call with them. Reach out to me on LinkedIn if you'd like to. I'm happy to answer any questions, be it directly or via LinkedIn. But make that decision. I'm going to round it off as well. Um, Sylvia, you've applied. How do you access the EY Masterclass? You'll receive an invitation. Sylvia, thank you. I'm so glad that you've made a decision to join us. And I can't wait to see your outcomes as well. My pleasure, Sally. Cindy's got one other question. How does this program compare with the London School of Economics one? So, yeah, great question, Cindy. We've worked with numerous universities in LSE, Cambridge, and now and King's as well in different career accelerators. This one is a very technically driven data science with machine learning and AI program. It is somewhat in the title, whereas that one's data analytics. So, um, I guess when you're looking at data analytics, you're looking at what happened and dashboarding that and receiving that data. With machine learning and so forth, it's about data science, predicting more so what could happen or how you can influence what will happen through the use of data. So, if I explain it quickly in that regard. So, this one is are more technically, they're both technical. I mean, in the other program, you'll cover Excel, SQL, some Python, and R as a language. In this one, you're obviously going to be doing machine learning, deep machine learning, NLP, all those types of things with AI, and using Python for that as well. So a lot different. One's a stepping stone toward the other as well, I guess, as many can do analytics before science, but if you're looking for data science and the future of AI in the workplace, this is certainly the one. Cindy, happy to have a conversation furthermore if you'd prefer as well, if you haven't yet spoken with an enrolment advisor. Both share the same coaching philosophy around the career coaching, both share an industry project, but one's Cambridge and one's LSE, obviously, as well. Okay, lastly, I just want to ask you some questions that you can ponder before I wrap. Um, we're started a new year, obviously. I just want you to answer this in your own head. If you had 2025 over again, what would you do differently? And you can say nothing, or you could say there's a lot of things I'd do differently. It might be personal, it might be professional, it could be financial. Who knows? We've all got things that in hindsight we would do differently. If you ask yourself that question in the future at the end of 2026, what do you have to do today to ensure that the answer to that question is nothing, if possible? I doubt it ever will be, but in terms of your learning and your career, What do you have to do today? Well, you've already made a decision. You've already made a decision to inquire. You've already made a decision in some of your cases to apply, and you've already made a decision to attend today to learn more about what is relevant for yourself. So well done. That's a brilliant start to the new year in itself. The next step is, what do you have to do next to ensure that the answer to that question is in? I use that question all the time because it helps me break down a big goal into almost daily decision making. So the next decision is your commitment to yourself, the conversations that you have around you about committing to change your career, advance your career, earn more, whatever it may be, your motivation to study, and then making that commitment to yourself by taking, which is to either book the time with your enrolment advisor or certainly apply, submit your application and they'll call. Because it is life changing in many ways. You're all looking to learn for a reason, and be that further career enjoyment, be that further earning potential, whatever your motivation is, you're looking for a reason, and to commit to oneself is a really positive way to do that early on in the year as well. Get in before it sells out. Join us for the masterclass. It's going to be absolutely fantastic, and we thank Ernst and Young for their involvement. I'd like to take a moment just to thank you. Um, Lastly, we do have other events upcoming that we will be inviting you to. We'd love you to register for a drop in with an enrolment advisor. We've got an Ask Me Anything style session upcoming with a current learner. And on our YouTube channel, we've got many examples of that already. But thank you. And I mean that thank you for, I'm not going to say giving up your time. You're not giving it up at all. You're investing your time in yourself. So well done. We can't wait to welcome, support, and most of all, celebrate your success in completing and obtaining your intended outcome in 2026. Have a great day. Thanks, Sam, in the background for assisting as well.